Hello, everyone. Thank you for signing on to today's Amtrak Vacations presentation, Save Your Summer, Destinations Booking for 2020 and 2021. I'm so excited to have all of you here on the presentation today. Popping up onto your screen now is a photo of me, your host, Jarrett Kettinger. Now, folks, I do recognize I have a little bit of a baby face, but believe it or not, I've been with Amtrak Vacations for going on 7 years now. And so if any of you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to type them into the questions box on the side of the GoToWebinar panel. I'll answer any and all questions at the end of the presentation today. Additionally, I do like to ask questions to gauge your interaction and reaction and see what you might have known about Amtrak Vacations. So similarly, please take time to type your answers to my questions into the questions box on the side of the GoToWebinar panel as well. Coming up onto the screen now is a reminder of the free downloadable handouts on the side of the GoToWebinar panel. We have one about the Amtrak Vacations sleeping accommodations on board the train, one highlighting our maximum flexibility during this time of a little bit of an upset. We have a maximum flexibility for booking for you folks, and one highlighting our national parks flyer. So we definitely want to make sure that you are downloading that, as it is going to be a big year to go to the national parks. Coming up onto your screen now is the Amtrak Vacations Systems map. Everywhere you folks are seeing a colorful line on the map, that's a route that Amtrak travels on. Everywhere you're seeing a dark blue or navy blue dot, that's a destination that Amtrak Vacations travels to, where we incorporate the hotels, the sightseeing, and the attractions all bundled together with the rail travel experience. Additionally, Amtrak does cross the border up into Canada. We cross the border up into Montreal, Niagara Falls, Toronto, and Vancouver, and we can do cross Canada via rail packages, the via rail being the Amtrak of Canada, and we can do packages up into the Canadian Rockies. Now, I did say I like to be interactive on this. Who here, and you can simply type a yes or no, was aware that Amtrak Vacations can also book Canadian via rail packages as well? Yes or no? Ah, okay. So today we're about 50-50 for yeses to no. But that is completely okay. That is why we do these presentations. I'm excited to have all you folks here. Let's jump in. Now, number one, what makes Amtrak Vacations different? Normally, when I come to this slide, I say it's a bucket list experience. And it is. But I'm just curious. Feel free to type the answer into the questions box on the side of the GoToWebinar panel. But for this year, what bucket list destination are you looking to go to? For this year and early next year, where would you like to go? Within wherever you'd like to go. I'd love to hear your answers. Okay, we have Montreal, Washington, D.C., Glacier Park, Maine, Yellowstone, Alaska, New Orleans, Mount Rushmore, Reno, Glacier National Park, and Montreal. I am loving this. Southern California, Niagara Falls, in the St. Lawrence Seaway, and Niagara Falls. More Niagara Falls, even more Niagara Falls. We're seeing the Tetons. We can go there as well. This is excellent. I'm excited to have everyone. Quebec, been hearing that a ton of Quebec. I'm excited to see all of these answers. Washington State, feel free to go up. We go there as well. You'll see that on the presentation. This is excellent. Keep up all of the response. We have the freedom and flexibility. We can customize or tailor make any of your rather any of our itineraries to fit your particular travel needs. Hassle-free. Hassle-free because all you have to do to book is give us a call at 1-800-268-7252. Simple as that. We're the official tour operator for Amtrak, which is basically a fancy way of saying we're their national vacation partner. Here's another question. We do city-to-city service. Would any of you care to try a guess at how many different stations we travel through? How many stations do you think Amtrak? Oh, we had two people hit it right on the beginning. So there's 145, 215, 250, 500, 1,000. It is 500 different stations that we travel through. And then we have a little something for everyone on our trips. It's simple as that. Maximum flexibility. Any new or existing reservations can change their travel dates or cancel their rail vacations up until 5 days prior to departure without incurring any change or cancellation fees. Now, as this states, it's bookable by April 30th. We will extend it if need be due to the current situation we're all in. Now, what does customize mean? Customize is a big word, so let me narrow it down for you. Imagine you're on our website or looking at one of our brochures and you see the rails to the Grand Canyon itinerary. And that itinerary works as thus. Traveling overnight on board the Southwest Chief, which is the train you can see in the first picture on the slide, from Los Angeles, California, overnight on the train to Williams, Arizona. Upon arriving in Williams, you would get off of the Amtrak and board the Grand Canyon Railway to travel through the desert and Ponderosa Forest into the south rim of the Grand Canyon. Upon arriving at the South Rim, at the South Rim Grand Canyon Village, you would get off the Grand Canyon Railway and immediately board a sightseeing tour of the South Rim of the canyon. After that was over, you'd be dropped off at your lodging and you'd spend 2 nights at the South Rim before taking the Grand Canyon Railway train back to Williams in the Amtrak overnight from Williams back to Los Angeles. Now, imagine you see the itinerary and it includes 2 nights hotel accommodations at the South Rim, but you would prefer to do 3 nights instead of 2. No problem. We can add an extra night to the package. And then not only do you want to add an extra night, but you want to upgrade the hotel to the El Tavar, the historic hotel that sits on the canyon ledge. Again, no problem at all. So we've added an extra night, upgraded the hotel, and then you actually say, okay, this all looks great, but seeing as we're going to start and end the trip in Los Angeles, we'd like to spend some time in Los Angeles as well. So we might add the Los Angeles getaway, which includes 2 nights hotel accommodations and a sightseeing tour of the city to the package. So we would have taken the original itinerary, added an extra night, upgraded the hotel, and then added a whole alternative package for Los Angeles to the trip to create your own customized itinerary. Does that make a little bit more sense to you when I say we can customize our trips? Yes or no? Excellent. I'm seeing a bunch of yeses come through. That means I'm doing my job right. That's good. Perfect. Now, we're talking about the summer, and for the most part, the majority of people are now kind of cooped up in their homes. We're waiting for all of this situation to end, and we're waiting for the all okay to be able to go out and explore the world, but explore the country at this point, because I think everybody pretty much is ready to get out of their homes and stretch their legs and see the country, see the world, Am I right in that? Yes or no? Feel free to type yes or no into the questions box on the side of the GoToWebinar panel. Bunch of yeses coming up. I didn't think I was alone in this thought. So let's talk about destinations where you can go this summer. Number one, Washington, D.C. with the Washington, D.C. Ultimate Getaway. Now, folks, I've done this trip myself, the D.C. Ultimate Getaway. Absolutely loved it. It includes 3 nights hotel accommodations at a hotel right in the heart of the city, and we have multiple hotel options to choose from. We also include admission to the International Spy Museum. The International Spy Museum just transitioned from their old location to their brand new state-of-the-art location, which is gigantic. And what's really cool is that it includes a bunch of spyware in the museum that is now relevant to the war on terror. Previously, they focused on the Cold War, which they still do to a degree. But they were mostly Cold War based. Now they've transitioned to do a whole giant exhibit on the war on terror and spyware that was relevant during that time. There's also a theater that will teach you how to look at forensic evidence like a spy. Also, there is a huge exhibit exploring the history of the movie series of James Bond. Really can't beat that. We also include a multi-day hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour, as well as the Monuments by Moonlight tour. And folks, I've traveled on our travel packages all throughout the world, going to Washington, D.C., as I mentioned, Yellowstone, San Francisco, New Orleans, Memphis, Chicago, London, all around Italy, all around Australia. I've traveled the world. For my money, the Monuments by Moonlight tour is my favorite tour I've done. The reason for that is that I can't tell you how amazing an experience it is to go out in the evening time on this big trolley with the windows rolled up because they're plastic coverings over the windows, going out to the Martin Luther King Memorial, the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial, the Washington Monument, the Marine Corps War Memorial out in Arlington Cemetery, the Vietnam War Memorial, the Lincoln Memorial, and seeing all of these amazing structures and feeling the patriotism and feeling the awe that you will experience when you go out and do this. It's so amazing to see all these beautiful structures lit up in the evening time. And so I'm seeing someone say, it is perfect by moonlight. Been there, done that. Thank you. It is such an awe-inspiring experience. Definitely worth doing. That's the DC Ultimate Getaway. Next up, we have the Niagara Falls Ultimate Getaway round trip from Chicago. Now, when reading our maps, everywhere you're seeing a bubble with a number in it, that's the amount of overnights at a hotel at the destination. Everywhere you see a red arrow, that's the amount of overnights on board the train. Simple as that, easy to read. Now, when going to Niagara Falls, which you can see the wonder of Niagara Falls there with the rushing waters, the mist coming off of it, the beauty of the falls in the summertime. It's a great family destination, just like Washington, D.C. It is really fun. We include several nights hotel accommodations with the Skylon Tower observation deck, which is a tall observatory tower that sits next to the falls. The Niagara Falls Adventure Pass, which includes admission to the Butterfly Observatory. It includes the We Go Pass, which is a hop-on, hop-off transportation bus all throughout the city. It includes admission to the Whitewater Walk and the journey behind the falls, which is the caves and tunnels that are literally behind the falls. We also include dinner at a popular local restaurant, which is the Watermark restaurant overlooking the falls. And the main draw, I won't say the main draw, but a big draw for Niagara Falls in the summer is the nightly fireworks shows. So imagine going up into having dinner at the Watermark restaurant overlooking the falls with the kids or with the wife or with the husband or whomever you're with, the friends, the family, and watching the fireworks explode as you're having a five-star meal overlooking the falls. A great experience, I can guarantee you for that. We have the Grand Canyon Getaway round trip from Chicago. So this is very similar from the rails to the Grand Canyon, but it's based out of Chicago, and it includes one night at the South Rim of the Canyon and 2 nights in Williams. So we include the travel on the Southwest Chief, traveling overnight through the heartland of the country and in through the desert and Ponderosa Forest in the Red Rocks to heading down into the south rim of the canyon. And if anyone was ever curious of why they might want to visit and take some pictures of the Grand Canyon, here you have the photo evidence right here. I'm going to ask, doesn't this look attractive to you? Doesn't this look like something that you might want to go to? Bunch of yeses popping up. Yes, for sure. Yes, of course. I like it. So, what we have is 3 nights hotel accommodations, and it works as this. You take the overnight on the train from Chicago overnight to Williams, Arizona, get off the train, spend 1 night in Williams. The next day you wake up, have breakfast at the hotel right there. Breakfast is already included within the cost. And then take the Grand Canyon Railway train from Williams into the South Rim of the canyon. Automatically do a sightseeing tour of the South Rim. And then spend 1 night at the South Rim at one of the lodges there. After that, taking the train back from the South Rim back to Williams, staying 1 night at the hotel with dinner included, and then taking the train back to Chicago. Now, it is worth knowing that the packages are based off of coach accommodations on the Amtrak and coach accommodations on the Grand Canyon Railway. Now, we can always look at upgrading you on both of the trains, but I can tell you it's absolutely worth it to spend a little bit extra money and upgrade to first class on the Grand Canyon Railway, as it includes refreshments and it includes more plush, comfy seating in a better visual area on the train. It's only roughly about $100, less than $100 rather, per person on round trip, and it is totally worth it because if you're going to the Grand Canyon, it's maybe once, maybe twice, maybe you go as a kid and maybe you go again as an adult or a grandparents taking the kids or the grandkids in your life. So it's definitely worth the little bit of an upgrade for the experience. Then we have the Northern Rail experience. So this itinerary is unique for a couple of reasons. Number one, it hits the top 3 most scenic rail routes in order from 3, 2 to 1. It also includes 2 very cool major US city destinations. And it includes 3 very different areas of the country to travel through. So it travels out on the Empire Builder, going from Chicago for 2 nights, going across through the Great Lakes, northern Big Sky area of the country, up in Montana, and out into the lush green forest out in Washington State for one night in Seattle. Then traveling down through the Cascade Mountain Range, through Oregon, through Northern California, the big giant fir trees of California, Northern California, and into San Francisco for a 2-night stay in San Francisco. Then traveling out along the Bay Area, along the Sierra Nevada mountain range on the California-Nevada border, out through the deserts in Nevada, and then the Colorado Rocky Mountains, and then the heartland of the country. And again, the Empire Builder is regularly voted the number 3 most scenic railroute on the Amtrak system. The Coast Starlight is regularly voted number 2 most scenic railroute on the Amtrak system. And then the California Zephyr is regularly voted the number 1 most scenic railroute on the Amtrak system. In the destinations, we include a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour. Travel along the Coast Starlight is always very popular. A hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour, as well as a sightseeing tour of Muirwoods and Sausalito in San Francisco, and dinner and a bay cruise. And that, folks, is the Northern Rail experience. It's worth noting at each of the destinations, we offer an array of options at 3, 4, and 5-star levels. So whatever you're most comfortable in, we can accommodate you for. Packing for the train. Packing for the train is easy, simple to do. You're allowed 2 carry-ons of up to 50 pounds each and 2 check bags of up to 50 pounds each, and that's per person, and that's completely free. Additionally, luggage can be checked up to 45 minutes to an hour ahead of time, and that's actually when we advise getting to the train station. It's not like the airlines and the airports where you have to get there an hour and a half to 2 hours to 3 hours if you're going international. You can get there an hour to 45 minutes ahead of time and still comfortably board the train. Now, the accommodations on the train, the first of which is coach accommodations, which are 2 big plush comfy seats that recline at a 45-degree angle with a leg rest that'll kick up, a tray table that will fold down, outlets to charge devices in, plenty of room above head for luggage, plenty of legroom, I hope you can see that by the picture there, and a big picture window to enjoy the sights out of, because that is the standard with Amtrak. Whether you're going in the coach accommodations or the most deluxe accommodations on the train, we want you to be able to see the country from the window of the train. The next step up is the sleeper roomette, which is its own private accommodations on the train. It's its own cabin with the door that'll shut and lock, blinds that will go over the windows for privacy, 2 big plush comfy seats, a tray table that will fold down, outlets to charge devices in. At night, everything folds down to bunk-style sleeper accommodations. Now, you're probably looking at this diagram in this picture and saying, I don't see a bathroom in this room. That's correct. The bathrooms are down the hall. There's 4 bathrooms to every roomette car, and only those staying in the roomette car have access to those bathrooms. There's also an attendant that's constantly going in and cleaning them out. However, if you want your own private bathroom and shower accommodations in the room, the next step up is the sleeper bedroom, which is the bigger room on the train with a long couch, a big captain's chair, a fold-out tray table, a big picture window to enjoy the sights out of, and it has its own private bathroom and shower accommodations in the room itself. Dining on the train. Dining on the train is included within the cost of the sleeper cars, the roomettes, or bedrooms. With a full menu of options to choose from, we like to refer to the dining car on the train as our rolling restaurant. And there's a full menu of options cooked to order for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Again, the price of the meals are included within the cost of the sleeper compartment. So you can imagine something like a trip on the Northern Rail experience, where you're doing 2 nights from Chicago to Seattle, 1 night from Seattle to San Francisco, and then 2 nights from San Francisco back to Chicago, where it's 2, 1, and 2, where you're having 5 nights on board the train, where the value comes in of having all the meals included within the cost of the room. Again, a reminder on the maximum flexibility. New or existing reservations can change their travel dates or cancel their rail vacations up until 5 days prior to departure without incurring any change or cancellation fee. This policy is good through April 30th. We will extend it as we see need be. Everyday discounts. Children aged 2 to 12 receive a 50% discount off the rail portion of an Amtrak package, so off the base rail fare. Seniors 65 and over receive a 10% discount off the base rail fare, and then any active military personnel, spouses, and dependents will also receive a 10% discount off the base rail fare. Now, I have a question. Do we have any veterans on the presentation today? And again, you can answer by simply typing yes into the questions box on the side of the GoToWebinar panel if you are a veteran. Okay, so a bunch of yeses coming through. And I may ask you, what branch of the military did you serve in? I'd like to see who is representing who on the presentation today. All right, we got some Army coming through. United States Air Force, more Army, more Air Force. Okay, Army and Air Force coming in strong on the presentation today. Well, I want to let you know, Coast Guard coming in, very cool. Navy showing up. So we got Army, U.S. Air Force, Coast Guard, Navy. Oh, and we do have some more local first responders. There a couple of comments on here for Army, pro Army, and saying something for Navy, and then Navy saying something for Army. I'm not going to repeat it. I'm a neutral person here. What I will say is that I want to let you know that as of January 1 of 2020, we are extending the military discount to all veterans. So if you are a veteran, you can get the 10% discount. What I will say is, because I know the question is going to come about, you cannot all add all the discounts together, senior, veteran, what have you, but you can choose to be a veteran, or if you happen to be a senior, you can do one or the other. However, if we have special discounts, you might see that in a second, you can combine the senior with the special discount or the veteran with the special discount. Might want to keep paying attention because we have an exclusive offer. Book a package and upgrade to a sleeper accommodation on board the train and save $100 per booking by booking by April 21st. And that is combinable with any senior, veteran discount, child discount. All of that is combinable. A reminder, we have some free downloadable handouts on the side of the GoToWebinar panel. So for highlighting the sleeper accommodations, maximum flexibility for our cancellation and change policy during this time, and our national parks flyer. Now, interested to hear, I asked you for your bucket list destinations for the year, but if that did not overlap with what rail vacations you're interested in and when you would like to travel, I would like to see that. All right, we're already seeing Yellowstone, San Francisco, Glacier Park, Florida, New Orleans, summer in Quebec, Colorado. All very good to hear. Thank you, folks. Maine, Montreal, and Quebec. Oh, I'm excited to hear all this. East Coast to West Coast. Very cool. Now, when you're ready, we're ready. This is a collage of the Amtrak Vacations employees working from home. You can see me. I am the guy up in the top near mid to right hand corner with a little gray cat whose face has stuck itself in my picture. I've got the headset on, glasses on, a gray and green shirt, um, and you can see me up there. And this is all of us. We're at home, we're on the phones, we're ready for when you're ready. This is all of us that are gearing up for some fun for to help you on your trip, and get out there so you're not trapped in your home anymore. And I had someone say thought the cat was a part of the shirt. No, that's actually just my cat. He's actually sleeping behind me in the sun as I go over this presentation for you. His name is Merle, named after country star Merle Haggard. So, folks, I want to say thank you for joining us on the presentation. Oh, thank you for the compliments. I had a couple come through. It's now time for me to answer some of your questions on this. So let's see. Okay. So, do you allow stopping off where I want to go? Yes, course. Of course we do. You can get on and off the train at your leisure. The only thing is, we suggest lining it all up ahead of time. A lot of people like to refer to these old things called See America by rail passes. The reason for that is that it used to be back in the times, I won't say olden times, I don't want to offend anybody, but you used to be able to get on and off the train at your leisure. What's happened now is there is a lot of rules and restrictions. And so it's not very easy to get on and off the train with a rail pass as it was back in the days of yore. Now, if you have a rail pass, it's really only good if you're a businessman that happens to maybe live in Connecticut and take the train into New York every day. It's not that great. It's great if you just want to buy one rail pass for 30 days and have a ticket every day to get on the train and not have to go to the ticket booth every day. What we suggest for a vacation is if you know where you want to get off and how long you want to get off the train for, line it up with the Amtrak Vacations consultant ahead of time. Because if you try and use the rail pass the day of travel, you could easily have a situation such as so many people have used rail passes, you're beyond the scope of how many people can utilize it. Or if it's a high traffic day, the rail passes may not be utilized, and so you might pay through the nose for the cost of a ticket when you already paid for the rail pass. And so we suggest lining everything up ahead of time, and so everything is good to go. As for the question about the monuments by moonlight, someone asked, can you get off at the monuments? Yes, you do. You do get off at the Martin Luther King Memorial, which is adjacent to the FDR Memorial, the Marine Corps War Memorial out in Arlington Cemetery. You drive past the Kennedy Center, which I don't know if you know this, but the Kennedy Center actually is an official memorial to President JFK. You get off at the Lincoln Memorial, which is adjacent to the Vietnam War Memorial, close to the World War II Memorial, close to the Washington Monument. So yes, you do get off at those places. Someone saying they agreed with me in terms of upgrading from going from Williams to the South Rim of the Grand Canyon on the Grand Canyon Railway. I appreciate that. Thank you for agreeing with me. I thought I was right too. How about bikes? Can you put bikes on the train? Yes. Certain trains can accommodate the bikes in the checked luggage compartment. There is a fee with that. With sleeper car options, do you have options to leave the room and sit elsewhere? Yes, you do. You are not confined to your accommodations in the room. If you're a veteran of, say, the Royal Navy, veterans from the UK, can you get a discount? I do believe you can. Yes. Any Amtrak vacations that begin in Penn Station, New York City. Yes, all of our trips, even if you see starting in Chicago or from a single point of origin, that's just an example. We can start our trips from over 500 different train stations, including New York City. Can we use points on our trip? So Amtrak rewards points like an airline reward point. You can't use them to book the trip. We're just not there yet. But if you have a rewards point number, we can put it on the reservation and you can earn points that way. If I have an idea of a package that I see or I want to put together, can it be put together? So if you're not seeing a package on our website, but you have an idea, yes, give us a call. We can customize or create trips to fit your travel needs. I'm interested in the auto train. Great. Give us a call at 1-800-268-7252. We can help you with it. Uh, what days does it run from Virginia to Orlando? Every day. The auto train runs from Lorton, Virginia, outside of Washington, D.C., to Sanford, Florida, outside of Orlando. Every day it goes. How do those with disabilities fare on Amtrak vacations? Fine. You just need to let us know what your ADA or handicap accessible needs are, and we can accommodate that for you. We want to go from Lincoln, Nebraska to Western Colorado when everything is blooming and green in the spring. What would be the best time for this? I'm not a meteorologist. I would say probably in May. Well, at this point, May. I'd say June, July. Getting from the train station to the hotel is on your own. So if we included a transfer, it would be several $100s for like a 10-minute ride, whereas a taxi or a Uber or Lyft would be about $10 to go from the train station to the hotel. So that is on your own. Niagara Falls trip. Can you choose what day of the week to leave from Chicago? Absolutely. What's the best route to travel from Maine to the DC area? There's multiple routes. So just give us a call at 1-800-268-7252. If you're traveling to Williams for the Grand Canyon, take time to stop in Flagstaff. You can do it by train. Absolutely, you can. Thank you, folks. I'm so excited to have all of you here on the presentation today. Thank you for your questions. If I didn't get to answer your question, feel free to give us a call at 1-800-268-7252. Have a great day.